Good morning to ya. DJ Wonder Chrissy here. It's Tuesday, March 26th. We got a lot to talk about today. Oh my gosh. The world is upside down and wow, backside up and then upside down again. You're not going to believe what we got, the news we got for you today. If you haven't been watching the news, you better turn it on now. Got some chill music going on here this morning. Let's bring that down. Let's bring it down and get going with the show. Awesome show planned for you today. DJ Wonder Chrissy, Migrant, Mayhem. Like, share, and subscribe, folks. We use all the subs, all the subscribes as we can. Thank you. Wow. What is going on? Let's see what's going on here. Gotta get OBS up and running here, folks. Let's, where did it go? There it is. There's what we're looking for. Let's see if we can find it.
Cases among children at the Halsted Street shelter in Pilsen continues.
All right, maybe we can get it now. Let's see here. No. Doesn't like it. Let's see if this will do it. There it is. Okay, so the first clip I got before we get to what's happening in Baltimore and my personal connection with the Baltimore port, which you're not going to believe this. But anyway, measles. So the measles, as we talked about probably a week, 10 days ago, the incubation period for measles is like about 12 days, and then it takes 4 or 5 days after that before the blisters start to show. Well, obviously, according to this report, I think that's what's happening because Chicago has decided, at least for one shelter, they're going to do a second round of measles vaccinations, which I never heard before. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but seems kind of odd they're giving 2 doses. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. I imagine it is. Doctors doing this. So obviously they got a bigger issue than they're letting on to. Nobody gets into those shelters, and they haven't seen any video of the inside of the shelters in a long time. Haven't even heard of anybody who's been in the shelters say anything. So let's listen to this report from Fox News Chicago.
So the city is now mandating a policy tonight at a crowded city migrant shelter. The number of measles cases among children at the Halsted Street shelter in Pilsen continues to grow. So the city is now mandating everyone at that shelter receive a second measles vaccine dose 28 days after the first one. Officials say this will prevent a potential spread of the highly contagious virus to other children who are waiting for their second vaccine.
So there you go. That's what's going on at the Pilsen shelter. There was also a news report out of NBC5 Chicago where, let me get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. They did a FOIA request for the cost of the shelters and the the leases that are the formal leases or what have you, contracts to go along with those 26 or 27 shelters that they have in Chicago and what it's costing the taxpayer. And they got just 30% of the information. There was a bunch of shelters where they got no information, and seems to raise the question on how transparent our government is being with us when it comes to the finances. I know that I saw out in Denver, I know we got some people from Denver that watch. I think Incarnate is one of them, where I saw Hyatt hotels where guess what? One of the stockholders in Hyatt Hotels is J.B. Pritzker, so his company is profiting off of this out of Denver. Go figure, right? So there you go. Yeah, we got Brian Thomas on. Yeah, we could use some help dragging some of these migrants out. There's also in Illinois a Senate bill. I think it's Senate Bill 3262. I saw is being discussed right now in our legislature, where they want to pass a bill giving homeless people, right? Homeless people, regardless of immigration status, $1,000 a month. Can you say socialism? Can you say universal basic income? That's being discussed right now in our legislature in Springfield. That's how crazy Illinois is. I told you there's a song called "We're All Crazy in Chicago." I'm here to tell you it's more than just Chicago. It's Illinois in general. So that's what I have for you on that. I wanted to get into Maryland, okay? I told you guys that I have a personal connection to Maryland. In 2015, I purchased a new car, okay? I purchased one of our Land Cruisers that we use, and it was a 335 BMW, and it came over on a ship from, let me get this video up and running here. Came over on a car carrier ferry from Munich, Germany, and it landed in Baltimore, Maryland. And it was during the riots and the burning of the city of Baltimore. It was at the same exact, like a week before. I was worried, and for you folks that don't know, BMW, the delivery of the cars is all done by semi. So they bring it over in a ferry or auto carrier, and they bring it over to Baltimore, and then they roll, like what they call roll on, roll off ships. They're like the big ocean-going ferries, and they bring it over. It takes about, I don't think 2 to 3 weeks to bring it across the pond, and they go up the river there and into Baltimore and unload them, and then they load them on semi trucks, and they truck them all the way to Illinois and where have you. BMW also has ports, for those that are interested, also has ports in Savannah, I think Houston, and then they go down through the the Panama Canal, and they go over to Los Angeles, and then they head over to Australia. So these boats go on, like, I don't know, month, 2 month excursions where they take on and take off cars based on where they're at in the world. And obviously Savannah's where down there in Spartanburg, they make a lot of the SUVs and have for probably 10-15 years. So they would take those on and distribute them across the world. So there you go. There's my connection with Baltimore. So let me get this video up here. I wanted to show you, the other thing is Boeing. I don't know if you saw yesterday, Boeing Corporation. A lot. I worked in big Fortune 100 companies most of my life, and you rarely saw a CEO get ousted. And if there was any problems within a company, there was always a fall guy to fall on the sword and protect the upper levels of management. Well, that didn't happen at Boeing for some reason. I think part of the reason is they had a whistleblower that's coming out. There's some carnage going on at Boeing. Rightfully so, because it's the only American jet maker who does a lot of work for the United States government, folks. There's like 5 or 6 high-level managers that are being shown the door as I speak here at Boeing Corporation, a wonderful company that's left Chicago too last year or the year before. So that's just a little bit of background for you. So here I wanted talking about translucity and how we're not getting it in Chicago. Here's a guy in Baltimore, the transportation secretary this morning. He is a bureaucrat. This guy needs to be fired. And I wanted to share you his response here at this press conference early this morning. So listen to this.
If there's any terrorism connection, which there's not.
He tells us there's no terrorism connection, but he won't tell us what the issue was. Just that there's no terrorism, believe me.
Confirmed fatalities.
Any recovered from the water alive?
It's still under, still the rescue mission is still active.
Do you have any sense of what happened to the actual cargo ship? There were some reports that it suffered some major power outages just before it crashed.
Too early in the investigation.
See, this is how a bureaucrat responds, folks. This guy is nothing more than a corporate bureaucrat working in state government. Here he is. Listen. This is not just one answer. All of his answers in this 2-3 minute segment are nothing but bureaucracy and trying to stifle the flow of information to the people.
Was a pilot operating the ship coming in and out of the port? Was it a port's authorized pilot, or was it the captain of the ship?
No, pilots move ships in and out of the port of Baltimore.
What's happening?
Pilots move ships in and out of Baltimore.
What's happening to all the other ships that are waiting to back up at this point? How are you navigating that?
Basically, we're communicating with them. They obviously understand the situation, and we'll deal with the logistics of that later.
Has the crew being evacuated from the ship has Blizzard able to be in contact with the pilot on the ship?
That's all being done right now. I don't know the exact details of where they all are, but yes, obviously we're contacting them.
Is this being investigated as suspicious?
If in any type of incident like this, the FBI would be engaged just to make sure, and that's what they did.
How many vehicles are in the water? Can you just any idea how could this happen? This bridge
Too early.
not collapse like
Too early.
Investigation.
How long will the port be closed?
Do you know how deep the water is there in sort of this area where it happened, the conditions?
Approximately 50 feet. 50 feet.
how many people were rescued? How many were pulled from the water? How many are still searching for?
That is what we're doing. We're basically searching for everyone that was potentially on the bridge. As you can imagine, it's the middle of the night. You know what type of
A lot of details. We're potentially looking for everyone that was potentially on the bridge. Yeah, that's real specific.
traffic was there, how many workers were there. Workers, they obviously come to a project, but other workers show up. Sometimes that's what we're investigating right now.
Is this unprecedented? Is it anything like this ever happened?
Not in Baltimore.
Sir, can you talk more about
He actually answered that question. Not in Baltimore. This guy should start doing some stand-up comedy.
what was going on and how many vehicles you think might actually be in the water?
They were basically doing some concrete deck repair. We don't have the number of the
Do we
vehicles.
know who they work for?
I don't have that right offhand.
How long will the port be closed?
Too early to determine.
Are you still looking for 7 people?
A number of people. That's the one number that we've had. But obviously we're researching to see if anyone else was on that bridge.
Can you speak to some of the challenges, the freezing water, the current, the darkness this morning as you were searching for individuals?
All the above, to be frank.
He's letting a reporter do his work. This guy's the Secretary of Transportation of the state of Maryland, folks. He needs to be fired.
It's, a very, very tough situation.
He's telling us everything we already know, making it sound like he's providing us information firsthand.
As you've seen.
Sir, it's been a number of hours at this point. What can you tell family members who might be watching about any hope that you will still recover survivors?
We actually have set up a facility for any family members. We have mental health professionals there as well.
Where is it?
And are you ruling out any kind of intentional motive
We don't see anything that relates to that at this time. It's an open investigation, but there's nothing that points to that in any direction.
He's like taking a script out of a policeman's response. It's an open investigation. We can't comment.
Has an answer come in directly from the ship. When the ship get there, who was the first ones to make the 911 calls to kind of alert you?
I don't know. I don't have that information.
Do you have any indication whether the ship lost power?
It's too early.
Do you have any information for us so we don't have to just like play 21 questions here, dude?
For clarification,
Sorry,
Port
I-
is-
Question, please.
Port is closed except for trucks moving transport out.
Right. Okay. We'll be back surely about 9:30. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't have any more information or too much more information that he gave us here. This appearance here was almost worthless.
About 5 years to construct it, right? And yeah, what we can expect.
Paul Wiedefeld, guys.
Obviously, we reached out to a number of engineering.
Be thankful you're not in Maryland.
We have a long road in front of us to get to that point. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Doesn't instill confidence in me, that's for damn sure. So there you go. Let's get a look at here's where it talks about Boeing and all the people that are shown the door. Although for some reason the CEO is not leaving until the end of the year. I don't know if he's got some bonuses he needs to get or what's all up with that, but listen to this report from some local Fox affiliate that talks about all the people that are now leaving Boeing, and the list is just growing.
Now from Fox, I'm Jeanne Francine, turning now to some breaking news coming into our Live Now from Fox Studios as it relates to Boeing. We're being told, according to content partners, that Boeing will lose its CEO, chairman, and head of commercial airplanes after several senior leaders said they would stand down amid a growing scandal surrounding the safety of its planes, the company announcing this morning.
Gotta ask yourself, is Pete Buttigieg kind of mixed up in this? And where does his job line up with all of what's going on in Boeing? I'm just asking the question.
CEO Dave Calhoun confirming he was leaving the company in a statement, along with Stan Deal, the CEO and president of Boeing Commercial Airplanes, and along with the chairman, Larry Kellner. Boeing said in a statement, quote, President and CEO Dave Calhoun today announcing his decision to step down as CEO at the end of 2024, and he will continue to lead Boeing through the year to complete the critical work underway to stabilize and position the company for the future. So we are learning he will continue to lead Boeing through the end of the year. Now, as you all know, the company has been mired in succession of negative stories since a door panel blew out on a Boeing 737 MAX plane flown by Alaska Airlines back in January. Now, despite Boeing announcing a range of measures to improve safety and committing to working with
you'd think that their safety would be top notch, but no, we're talking about improving it. That's why all these guys are getting shown the door, folks.
Federal investigators, some passengers have spoken of feeling nervous climbing aboard its aircraft. Again, this is breaking news just coming into our Live Now from Fox Studios as Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun and a slew of executives have announced they plan to step down.
A slew!
Crisis. So as we get more information on this story, you will be the first to know. And again, this is breaking news. Boeing CEO and
breaking news, but we got to give you the real breaking news here. There we go. Breaking news. This is what you guys come for, right? The breaking news about the migrant, Chicago, Denver, New York City, wherever. Let's see if we got any comments there. So like, share, subscribe. I am DJ Wonder Chrissy. We love to have you guys on with us every morning for Migrant Mayhem. We got a Brian Thomas. According to Benny Johnson, a ship crashed. Yeah, it did. I'm not sure who Benny Johnson is, but yeah, the ship ran into I guess it lost power, hit a major pylon, and the bridge went down about 1:30 this morning. I don't think it's all about equity. I think it's all about this stuff, Brian. I think it's about just trying to make as much money as you can and producing as many airplanes as you can and getting them out the door. Although our airlines are taking care of the equity and inclusion hiring when it comes to pilots, which scares the hell out of me. I can safely say I haven't flown for years, and I don't miss it. So hopefully some of these concepts won't be translated into the auto industry. Yeah, you love the breaking news fart and chainsaw sounds. I'm not sure where the chainsaw is coming from. Is there chainsaws in there? You probably got a better ear than I do, but yeah, we can always do that. Yeah, we'll do that again for you here. Breaking news. Breaking news. And some say you could be cutting a log when you're doing that. Definitely. So welcome to the show. Going back to the auto industry, we did a video a couple days ago about Ford and problems they're having with the F-150. And as you drive around your local area, check out the used car lots, especially Ford and Toyota and Mazda. I mean, there's car dealers around here that had very, very few cars for the last 2 years. Now they've got so many cars they don't know what to do with them. I'm hearing also that some dealers, aka Ford, are actually starting to refuse their allocations. So that's why we've got Ford with all these cars at lots all over Michigan, because they're producing them and they don't want to stop the production, right? And now they're caught in limbo. It's like car sales, as far as, people tell us that our economy is great. It's not, folks. It's all nothing more than a psyop operation to make the consumer believe the economy is doing well, because 90 or 70% of our economy is driven by the consumer. We build very little, so it's all, our economy is totally built on consumers buying stuff at Walmart, Target, wherever. It's buy, spend, create debt, and that's what our economy is built on. And there's a lot of red flags blazing right now. I mean, people are defaulting on credit cards as big as ever. People are they're running up credit card debt as big as ever. Then they're not making their payments. Housing market is way down. Housing sales are through the floor. There's no houses up for sale to really sell. I know we had 5 or 6 here last year. Spring's the big time around here to see houses hit the market, as people want to sell their houses before the end of the school year, so maybe they can move in over the summer and be ready for the next school year. I know of one house in my whole neighborhood. We probably got about 400 homes here. Only one is on the market right now, which seems just a little weird to me. So I don't know about your area, but here the housing market is super slow. So I think we're going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out all of our other videos. And let's pray for the people in Baltimore and that they get that fixed, because that's going to impact our economy too. We're going to be hearing about in the next couple of days all the stuff that flows into our country and out of our country through the port of Baltimore, which is a very diverse port. It does bulk stuff, it does autos, it does cranes and heavy-duty equipment. It does containers, it does LNG. So as long as that's down and no ships can get in or out, we've got a problem, and it's going to impact our economy. You're hearing it first from me. So there you go. DJ Wonder Chrissy over and out for Migrant Mayhem, Land Cruiser Midwest. See ya.